And thank you. All month long, we are focusing on the importance of heart health. Here to talk more about the importance of knowing your numbers is Dr. Marcos Norres, the medical director of the Christine E. Lynn Heart and Vascular Institute. Welcome, doctor. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for the opportunity.
So February is Heart Month, and when we talk about knowing your numbers, are we talking about blood pressure?
Uh-huh.
Okay, can you go into more detail about that?
Yeah, I think it's important not only to know your numbers, but know really what is it that you're doing for your heart, for your body in general. I think, of course, the blood pressure, 120 over 80, everyone feels that, but that's in conjunction with what is it that you're also doing for the blood pressure, right? So I think the way I look at the Heart Month is an opportunity as a human being to reset. You know, we have the New Year's resolutions, you know, we have well, this is another, you know, it's maybe a hard New Year's resolution, right? Where we need to go in and maybe reset what is that we're doing, come out of our routine and see, okay, what are we going to do to change to become more healthy?
So what's some advice on people who maybe are looking to change their lifestyle, their diet?
I feel that the advice is, again, to be conscious that you're going to be, that you need to reset. Okay, for example, you need to start eating better and be more conscious or mindful of what is that you, or what are you eating, how much you're eating, and what exactly are you putting inside your body. Meaning, you know, I think maybe less processed foods and more organic foods, and more fruit, more vegetables. You know, having a balance with exercise. Exercise doesn't necessarily mean, you know, running or doing a marathon or just, but maybe even walking about 10,000 feet a day or more. It's what's recommended. And that's
Is that about 30 minutes a day?
Yes, that's about 30 to 40 minutes a day of walking at a normal pace. It doesn't have to be, you know, as a fast pace. So all those things help.
We did a story. I was over at Nicholas Children's Hospital in Miami a few weeks ago talking about children's heart health, and one of the cardiologists that I spoke to was saying that we're a society right now that likes to be indoors. We have AC, and we're eating out a lot, and there's so many options out there. You know, if instead of cooking, is that something you're seeing a lot of as well in adults?
Yes, I think definitely it's easier to have access to, again, to processed foods, the microwave, and maybe just becoming a little more conscious about that and changing those habits. I always say the same thing, that to change, you have to exchange, right? You have to take away one of the not so healthy habits and move it into a more healthy habits, right? So if you're watching TV when you get home because you're tired, well, maybe go for a walk or maybe do something like that. Again, if you're going to be snacking, maybe try a fruit, you know, and you have to do it one day at a time, right? To become then a new habit. And that's what's going to fortify and make it last longer. The idea is not to just have one change or become an athlete in one day.
Right.
You become an athlete with consistency.
Okay. What do you want people to know just about what's kind of going on over at the Lynn Heart and Vascular Institute in Boca Raton right now?
Well, I think we have a great opportunity at Boca Raton at the Lynn Heart Vascular Center because there's a great support, you know, from the entire institution. This Baptist and the foundation from the Heart and Vascular Center are working together to increase the awareness and and create what we want to like to say a tertiary heart center with high complexity care is done and provided there by very well excellent talent that we are kind of acquiring now and providing that difference in Palm Beach County that is so necessary and asked for so many people.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Norres, for being here and talking about this very important topic. Again, February is Heart Month. For more information, you can head to our website, WPBF.com. You can also watch this interview there again later on today.